Hey, welcome back for another review and happy Star Wars Day. Obviously, as we celebrate 25 years of Lego Star Wars, I thought might as well pull out my very first Lego Star Wars set. That is the 7140 X-Wing Fighter. And this thing, again, look, I got a lot of favorite Lego sets, like a lot. But this one is my favorite. I mean, even just rebuilding it for this video, I fell in love all over again. I mean, I don't think there is a more swooshable Lego set ever created. I mean, this thing, you just want to run around and spin it and fly it through your hallways and stuff like that. I mean, this thing is so awesome and it looks great. Like, for 25 years, like, this is a great X-Wing model. It still looks good today. And one of my favorite things about this set, and honestly all of the old Star Wars sets that came out in 1999, is that after you build this set, there's a comic at the end of the instruction manual that kind of tells this crazy story about the X-Wing crashing and then breaking and using these pieces to create 6 different alternate builds. I mean, it's wild, and I love it, especially on this site. As you know, I love to review Lego sets, but then break them apart and create something else. And it's so cool to see that Lego, again, especially back in 1999, value that and encourage that in the manuals, but also like on the back of boxes you see pictures of alternate builds just to inspire and to encourage kids to, again, build and play well, but then also to break apart and use your imagination and your creativity to build whatever and wherever your heart takes you. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to review this awesome Lego set from 25 years ago, but then also we are going to do our very best to break this apart and recreate these alternate builds. So let's get into it. All right, let's take a look at the minifigures first. This is obviously Luke Skywalker. Pretty good torso printing, nothing on the back because they didn't do that 25 years ago. Anyway, he comes with a blue lightsaber and, of course, the classic Luke Skywalker face. His helmet looks pretty good, though. I like the printing of the Rebel insignia and the striping. So, yeah, overall, really good figure. Next up is his friend, Biggs Darklighter. Again, same torso print and mustache face. He has a different helmet, or at least printed. I like the checkered pattern and I don't know, whatever this insignia thing is, but yeah, it's really nice that he also comes in the set. And of course, we have R2-D2. Again, this is the OG R2-D2, so yeah, printing though is actually pretty good. Nothing on the back, because again, they didn't do that. This set also comes with a maintenance figure. I could not find the tan hat, so I swapped it out with black. But yeah, he comes riding this, I don't know, repair train thing. I don't really know what this is, but you can see I'm missing a couple minor pieces. But yeah, it's really nice that this set came not just with the X-Wing main build, but also this side build as well. So that's pretty cool. And this is the X-Wing Fighter. There are no stickers in the set, so all of these detailed pieces you see are all prints, which is great. The cockpit opens like this, and you can see that the pilot barely fits in there. Also, from a certain angle, you can see the printed computer console. That's an image of the Death Star trench, which is pretty cool. R2-D2 kind of easily slides into his spot on these jumpers. And there also is a pretty big storage section here, and so you can actually put Luke's lightsaber, if you break it apart, in there, which is really great. Coming along the back, you got the 4 engines, which again are use these large pieces that came out in 1999, so that's pretty cool. The wings open up and kind of on this hinge pieces that are kind of locked into place, so it's nice because it's sturdy. It's not gonna like jiggle or wiggle around or anything like that. It's very sturdy like that, and so that's pretty great. This is kind of what it looks like coming more from the front. And as you can see, there is some landing gear that you can kind of just like pop off. Actually you can take this apart if you take it apart and stick it in this kind of front storage section if you would like. So yeah, that is the X-Wing Fighter, and I am ready to break this thing apart and build some of these alternate builds based off of the comic. So let's go. All right, so at the end of the instruction manual, we get to this comic story of Luke Skywalker crashing his X-Wing fighter into a swamp, probably the Dagobah system, and again, crashing into the swamp. The swamp is getting into the cockpit, so he's trying to escape and get out of there. And then he has this brilliant idea, and the brilliant idea is breaking the X-Wing apart and building a swamp speeder thing. All right, here is the swamp speeder. It's a pretty simple little build. You can see Luke right there in the cockpit, which opens and closes. Again, I couldn't quite see what the back looked like, so I just kind of had to use my own imagination. And yeah, it looks all right. Yeah, this is actually a pretty fun build, and there are actually some secret little playability features, which you will find out later in the story. Anyway, as he's riding his swamp speeder, there's a giant monster that comes out of nowhere just as Luke is trying to phone his friends. And here is the radio walkie-talkie device that Luke has. It's a simple and solid little build. I like the detailing and the antenna. Unfortunately, it's not like a full flip phone, but I'm sure it does the trick, and hopefully it works and actually gets Luke the help that he needs. The monster is chasing Luke Skywalker, and actually catches up and takes a huge chunk, a huge bite out of the back of the swamp speeder, leaving Luke, thankfully, in his little canoe boat thing that just comes out of the front of the swamp speeder. One really cool thing about this swamp speeder is that, well, if you're being chased by a monster or just need to get a quick getaway, you can do that by just lifting up these cannon pieces. The engines kind of just slide out. There's nothing really holding them in place. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Maybe it's like a decoy for monsters. But then this whole section up here just kind of rotates up. And you see this little 1x2 brick actually holds into place this little speeder boat. And so out comes the speeder boat. Again, it's a very, very simple little build, but Luke fits right in it, and he can now escape from the monster. So again, I love it because it's, again, the build's fine, but it's cool how it so simply, it just slides into place. Again, it's locked into place really well. You can put these engines back in, lock them into place. There's still a little bit of give there, but yeah, it's pretty cool just being able to slide this up and then out goes the speeder. As we come back to the story, Luke is so busy waving goodbye and taunting the monster that he doesn't realize that all of a sudden there's a huge rock in front of him and his boat splinters into a million pieces and he lands into the swamp, and now he is just a sitting Jedi waiting to be a monster's lunch. But then, what is this blue glow coming out of the swamp water? The monster has no idea, and he does not want to stick around to find out, so he is out of there. And Luke lifts up the blue glow, revealing the hilt of his lightsaber. And here is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber hilt. It's a simple but pretty cool little build. Again, it's kind of small for an adult hand, but honestly for kids, this is great. I did change it up just a little bit just because, well, I wanted to. I believe that this is the button right here. So you click this on, and then the laser part flies out from this end over here. Again, there's some detail, but again, it's a pretty simple build. I especially like this little hook piece right here, so you could hook it onto your belt, although it is pretty flimsy, so I don't know if I would actually do it, but yeah, again, this is a really great little build. I love it. Luke got away from the monster, but he is suddenly startled by a large, loud sound. What is this? I don't actually know. It's like a two-legged robo mech. And here's this little walker mech thing. It's a pretty cool little build. I feel like some of the leftover pieces could have been used to, fill up some of the back section, or maybe even this front cockpit. It's just kind of this windshield that kind of half covers them. But overall, it's a pretty cool little build. I love the arms and how they can kind of rotate up and down. So yeah, who knew you could build this cool little walker mech thing out of a X-Wing? Oh, look at this embrace and the happy ending, but they still got to get off of this swamp planet, whatever it is, and so they break apart the robo mech thing and use all the pieces to create a new starship. And finally, we have this alternate starship build, which is actually really cool. I don't think that this is based off of anything in Star Wars, but to be honest, it kind of looks like it could belong in that universe. I really like this neck section right here. It's sturdy and is a great place to hold as you kind of
swooshing it and flying it around. And it has this secret compartment for storage, so that's pretty cool. We got 4 large thruster engines in the back with some kind of cool tail wings for design. Moving towards the front, the cockpit opens up and is pretty spacious for one figure. And then the wings up here in the front actually can be tilted down, which I like this. I think it looks really cool as if it's like flying through space. And then also on the bottom, we do have a couple landing gear mechanisms. So it actually is pretty simple and sturdy for it to just kind of land like that. So yeah, honestly, this is actually a really cool alternate build. All right, wrapping up our story, our 3 heroes cram into the cockpit area, and Big says, pedal to the metal, let's get out of here, and they zoom off, leaving the monster thinking that that's just a thunderstorm, and apparently now he is vegetarian.
If you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe for more review videos and alternate builds. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, happy building!